YouTube. Today I'd just like to go over buying a second-hand tablet PC on a budget. A lot of people are buying cheap Chinese tablets off the likes of eBay and other online retail places, and they're having a lot of problems with them. The specs are absolutely horrendous, the build quality is absolutely crap. And really they're overpriced for what they are in terms of what you can get second-hand or refurbished. So today we're looking at two tablets which cost less than £100 each. The Nexus 7 cost me £60. It is an official Google refurb, but I bought it from eBay. In here I've got a Galaxy Tab 2 7.0 and it's a p3110, and I actually picked that up refurbished with a brand new screen for £50. So they're both relatively well priced relatively the same. There is quite a big difference in specs though. The Samsung is only a dual core 1 GHz processor, whereas the Nexus 7 comes with a 1.3 GHz quad core processor. Both tablets have 1 gig of RAM. They both feature a 7-inch screen, although the resolution on the Nexus is slightly higher. It is also an IPS display in the Nexus 7, which gives for a much nicer experience. So what we're going to go over in this video is benchmarking both of devices, both real-world benchmarks, so opening and closing apps and speed comparisons for everyday use, and a few benchmarks to see which device goes higher in terms of performance. I think I already know which one that's going to be, but we'll go over it anyway. Just like to talk a little bit about the software that we'll have running on these tablets. The Samsung only officially supports Android 4.2.2. Now, if you install the likes of Signage and Mod or a third-party ROM, you can run Android 4.4.4, which is currently the latest version other than the Android L developer preview. So both of these devices are running Android 4.4.4, and they're both on Signage and Mod 11. Let's show you this. So there you go. It's going to focus there. So it's Android 4.4.4 and it's on Signage and Mod 11. This is the same on both of these devices. Okay, so we're just going to go through a basic speed comparison to start with, and just see what the loading speed for everyday apps are like, starting with the Play Store. So open the Play Store on both of the devices. You can see it was slightly faster on the Nexus 7, although really you're not going to notice if you're using these as your everyday tablets. It's a split second in terms of performance and opening and closing apps. Same goes for Google Chrome. See, they're both very, very fast. It is down to the ROM as well. I would highly recommend installing Signage Mod on both of these tablets if you do buy one. So in terms of graphics performance, there's little to no lag on the actual launchers. These are both running the Google Now launcher, and it is very fast. You're never going to notice any lag there, which is nice because on the stock ROMs there is quite a bit of lag going between pages and opening and closing apps. So like I say, I would definitely recommend installing Signage and Mod. Now in terms of benchmarking and gaming performance, there is a massive difference between these two tablets. I do have 3D Mark on these, so we're just going to go over a quick benchmarking test. I think I do. Yeah, there we go. And so even opening it did take a lot longer this time on the Samsung device. Okay, so we're going to run Ice Storm Unlimited on both of the devices. And see it's loading much faster on the Nexus 7. So as you can see on the Nexus 7, if this is going to focus, we're getting around 21, 22 FPS. This is on Ice Storm, so if it was a game, really it would almost be playable. You see the Samsung is still trying to load Ice Storm, and it's only getting I'll just turn the volume down. It's only getting around 9 to 10 FPS, so that is a massive difference in terms of performance. The Nexus 7 is getting really double. Just going over the scores from them benchmarks. The Samsung Galaxy Tab 2 scored 1,575, and the Nexus 7 got 3,115. So it is pretty much double the score. The Nexus 7 is a much superior device in terms of gaming performance, although it does still lack a long way behind the new tablets such as the Nexus 7 2013. In the Nexus 5 that I'm actually recording this on does score over 11,000 on the same test. So they are starting to show their age, but if you're on a budget, I'd recommend either one of these over a Chinese tablet. But try and go for the Nexus 7. The range between £50 to £100 depending on condition. You can occasionally pick up a refurbished one for around £60, which I was very lucky to do. But if you keep an eye on the likes of eBay, Amazon, even Gumtree or Craigslist if you're in America, you may pick one up either in refurbished condition or very good condition for around £60. The Samsung device, you can pick them up anywhere between £30 to £60. If you want one that's in immaculate condition, you're going to be looking at around £50. Don't let the gaming performance put you off. If you're just going to be using this for browsing the web, it's absolutely perfect. You're not going to get any real lag if you're running the likes of Signage and Mod or any other custom ROM. The stock Samsung ROM is a little flaky. Not only is it running an OS that's a couple of years old now, it's very temperamental. Apps randomly close. It will randomly turn off, and it does get quite hot, and it uses a lot more. Well, the battery lasts nowhere near as long as if you run the likes of Signage and Mod. So definitely look into installing an upgraded later OS, something along the lines of Signage and Mod or Carbon ROM, and you're going to have quite a good experience with either one of these devices. If you're looking at getting the tablet for gaming, then yeah, go for the Nexus 7. You're completely wasting your time getting the Samsung. Like I say, either one of these is probably better than any of the cheap Samsung tablets for around the same price, and you're getting them from a proper manufacturer where they've been safety tested and you know that the batteries aren't going to burst into flames or the chargers are going to catch fire, and it's a much better option. Okay, so as you can see, the Nexus 7 is doing a lot better in pretty much all of the tests that we've run. So you might be wondering why you'd want to buy a Samsung Galaxy Tab. Now, it does have one major advantage. The Galaxy tablet does have an micro SD card slot. The Nexus 7 does come with either 8, 16 or 32 gig of memory, which for most people is enough. But if you do need to expand the storage, you are very limited on the Nexus 7. So that's a main feature for the Galaxy Tab. If you do need to expand the storage on the Nexus 7, you can use an on-the-go cable and plug a USB device in or a memory card reader. These are also available for the Samsung device, but when you have the micro SD card slot, there isn't really a need. Stay tuned, I am going to do some videos on how to install Signage and Mod on these devices, and I'll go through various performance tweaks which can get them running pretty well. Okay, so thanks for watching. If this helped you, please like, comment or subscribe.